Yeah, kicking us off. I don't know, how they play it. How they try to play the prelims. With Carmel gonna be on TV. Um,
That nigga got more. That nigga more known. That nigga got 600K just like the main event fighter, and he not. And he not on the. He don't be on prelims. That's just stupid.
bro, it's dub.
One,
Especially if you looking for ratings.
and niggas wonder why we the 13th the best sport in the world off the numbers. That's because you got a nigga that's more known. That's the same amount known as the main event, and he not. He not in the what's the name?
Man, like that needs to be on the main card, man. You can put him as the first fight. You know what I mean? Because like he the up and comer. Cool. Put him as the first fight, but he's supposed to be on TV, man. But he got a guy though. The guy like 5-1. Uh, so his experience ain't there as far as the pros. I don't know what he did in the amateurs.
Who you talking about? The guy Carmel Rumble?
Yeah,
Yeah, Carmel. Like I said, as of right now, the sky's the limit. The best part about him is he actually could be like a David Benavidez. Honestly, he might can be the guy who an American fighter, but got that David like really on some Mexican shit. Really, basically, make a long story short. But just how David like a Mexican, but that shit not sloppy and that shit don't get him in trouble and shit like that. Carmel could be that because he let his hands go and he got speed and he gonna have power on him just like a David Morrell and his temperament might be. I mean, Dave Benavidez and his temperament might be that. So it's like I could see Carmel being like a David Benavidez type of fighter where he gonna let his hands go. And I remember he said that too. He said Floyd Mayweather told him one of the best things about him that young fighters don't do is he throw combinations. And I ain't gonna lie, from young fighters, that is a lost art. Niggas really do try to pick their shots and be sharp and shit. The really only young fighter who really like letting them go 4 or 5 pieces is Abdullah for real. Ain't nobody letting go 5, 6 in a row for real. Niggas coming out was trying to be sharp, trying to be Floyd off rip at 1-0, trying to be Shakur at 1-0 when you a young black fighter. Not too many young black fighters go out there and go get you from the start and not try to show their slickness and all that.
yeah.
Dula and Carmel, they like that. They super slick, but even with all that being said, they still got this 10-piece combo waiting for you.
No effects. That's what he's again another reason why Carmel should be on fucking TV because man is exciting too, not just because of his name. He exciting fighter too, man. He trying to get the knockout. He not in there trying to play around with nobody. So
Word.
I mean, I hope this is a good fight though. The guy again 5-1, he ain't fought nobody. But again, the last guy he fought, he made it a good fight for Camille. So I'm hoping this dude do it again, make it a good fight, and test him a little bit.
So you got your man Jesus Ramos.
Yeah,
You
but
mean
he lost
shout out to Unc. We had Unc on the podcast. You
Yeah,
mean a
yeah.
couple months ago
Able.
for a rap, but Jesus Ramos.
Yeah,
Give me
man.
your ceiling on Jesus Ramos real quick.
I feel like Jesus can be a world champ, man. I do. I feel like he got the talent. You know what I mean. And I feel like he a good size for 54. You know what I mean. I did make sure. I know we was talking about if he gonna fight at 60, but I did make sure he is fighting at 54 this fight again. So I think he a good size for 54. I think he could be a champ at 54. He got that loss to Erickson Lubin, controversial. Uh, but now he just need the opportunities. Now he got to get the opportunities to fight these big names. Now,
I think he my black horse. I always call him my black horse. A black horse to me is somebody who you wouldn't pick to be nobody at the very top of their division, but he also had the ability to you to beat everybody at the top of the division,
mm-hmm.
even though you wouldn't pick him to do so. That's like a black sheep to me, and that's how I see Jesus Ramos. Before that loss, him and Tim Zoo, those was the guys. Like those was the
Yeah,
guys. Him, Tim Zoo, and Fundora specifically, because Fundora was young as shit. Nigga still like 25. So specifically because they were so young and so on the come up, and like I said, they all in their early to mid 20s. Those three specifically was supposed to be the next three up that was gonna be fighting for who gonna be the next king after Charlo, basically.
and now that bitch
But
banging 54 going nuts right now.
and now
And
Bud
that's the only
went up
thing.
there, no effects. Bud, mind you, this one Virgil wasn't a 54-pounder yet. He was scheduled to fight Emmanuel Stanionis 3 times at welterweight. This during
Yep.
that time.
Yeah.
This one we didn't even know Boy Chuck existed yet. We didn't even know
Yep.
of him yet. because we didn't even know he
Madrimal,
existed. We didn't know Madrimal exists yet. We didn't even know he was a human out here breathing.
no cap.
And Tim was the man. Only person who did their thing out them three is Fundora. Tim setback, and I ain't gonna lie, I thought Jesus he got a setback, but in all honesty, how he lost, he should have never been setback. I feel
No
like
cap.
that's a loss where it could have went either way. But he a black horse, and at any moment, like I ain't gonna lie, I keep picking on Fundora just because I think Bud Crawford and Murtazayev, I just think they real dominant, and I just feel like Fundora is an easier task than them. And at night, that might not be true just because of the physical size Fundora come with. But I think he's gonna be world champion at 154. I don't know when,
Yeah.
but I think he will be world champion one day. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I think he definitely gonna win at least one belt before it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. Yeah, it's just I don't know when, because yeah, like you said, 154 just going so crazy right now, man. You got background, Bud, Fundora, fucking, oh yeah, Fundora got two of them motherfuckers. So shit. So I
Yeah,
mean, just them three guys alone, and then again, like you mentioned, the Virgils and Madrimovs, Tim Zoo, I'm sure still want to compete at 54. You still gonna have to probably go through him, and that's probably a more makeable fight at this point in
yeah,
time.
facts. Yeah, we got Pitbull. I don't know who his opponent is.
I'm about to look him up.
Like I said, I heard Sean Porter talk about him. They said he a come forward fighter, so they saying the fight should be entertaining
Yeah,
and it should favor Rolly. I mean, should favor Pitbull. This is not somebody you should have to find. This at least what I've heard. You know, I never seen them fight, so I don't know if he gonna have to find him or not. But
he 23 2-2. Oh yeah, we looked him up that last time. He only dude I can see that he really fought is that Burgos dude that Keyshawn fought and Andy Cruz fought.
oh, why I know what you talk about. Yeah,
He got a draw against him, so that's I mean, he probably got that type of style. You know what I mean? Just real tough dude.
then
That
you
boy
got my
got
boy. We here to do it again. We here to do it again.
that boy, cool boy, man.
He ain't learned his lesson the first time. Okay, well, we're gonna see you again then.
Duh.
We're
Hey
gonna see
man,
you again.
I'm picking Cool Boy too, man. I'm rocking with skills. You know what I'm saying? But that man Brandon Figueroa, man, ain't no hope. He ain't no hope, man.
Man,
Oh
that's
man,
not. Man, that's a fucking fighter right there. Fuck a
yo,
boxer. He not no boxer. That's a fucking fighter right there. Brandon, like he could really say that. Like I don't consider myself no boxer, gang. I'm a rumbler.
man, this one of them 50-50 fights for me, man. I really want to see this one, dog.
It's gonna steal the show, easy.
Man, it
It's
might steal
over.
the
Like
show.
ain't nobody leave. Ain't nobody leaving. I ain't gonna say ain't nobody leaving to remember the main event, but they leaving that fight talking about that Coleman event they seen. I'm telling you that right now.
Man, that's gonna be because it's one of them fights where, of course, Cool Boy got the skills over him, but it's one of them fights that he gonna make you fight. He's gonna make you have to fight, Steve. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like you don't have a choice tonight. Like that's the only thing with this fight. And that's why, again, that's why it's gonna be such a good ass fight, man.
I ain't gonna lie. Cool Boy gonna have to do what he did that first time, and I ain't gonna lie. That's asking a lot of him. To be honest with you, that's asking a lot of him. He the underdog going into this fight, and I understand why. Honestly, only way this fight don't. The only way this fight is not a good fight, to be honest with you, is if he blew Cool Boy out the way in the first 6 rounds, where his chin not the same or whatever the case may be. But that's the only way because I can't see Brandon Figueroa getting blown away in 6 rounds. But I could see that happening to Cool Boy Steph. That's the only way this fight don't steal the show, as if I feel like if Cool Boy Steph get broken down. But if he don't get broken down and he that same guy, that's easily gonna steal the show. But I don't see Brandon Figueroa again broken down at all. I don't see him going early at all. No case scenario. I could see Cool Boy going in the first 6 in certain case scenarios just because of
Yeah.
like I said. And in the last fight, like we seen you go down, and that was a tough fight, and that wasn't no Brandon Figueroa. So it's like that's the only thing that I could see him. But if he not shot, then it's the fight of the year again.
I
You
gotta
know
make
what's
a pick
crazy,
though.
bro?
Huh?
we damn near just breaking down these fights. I don't even know we was picking winners. That's the crazy part.
That's what I was just about to say. If I got to make a pick,
Oh shit.
man, if I got to make a pick, I'm
We
running
got
with Cool Boy,
Pitbull real
man.
quick. Not the back, just the backtrack because we didn't get
Oh
our
yeah,
picks. We got Carmel, we got Pitbull, and host and Jesus Ramos pulling this off.
yeah, definitely.
So you mean, but go ahead though.
Yeah, and if I got to make a pick on this one, it's really 50-50 for me, man. I'm kind of going off bias, to be honest. It's really a 50-50 fight for me. I'm picking Cool Boy just kind of based off bias. I'm just a fan of Cool Boy. But again, I'm a fan of Brandon Figueroa too. I think it's a great chance he could pull it off if Cool Boy again is not the same guy, because you going from Inouye to another tough fight to Brandon Figueroa. You know what I mean? So I can understand if he there ain't the same guy when he first fought Brandon Figueroa.
Or and like I said, honestly, my knowledge is, to be honest with you, if I'm just gonna be real, my knowledge is actually telling me that Figueroa is gonna win this fight. He gonna get it. He gonna pull it off this time. If I'm just being real with y'all, I mean, my heart saying.
See, I say I had to say I'm a little biased. You
My
feel?
heart is telling me that my man Cool Boy from Philly, and we don't give a fuck about none of that shit that Brandon Figueroa coming with, because we from Philly and we gonna pull it off. But I mean, I'm a ride with Cool Boy on this one, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna definitely be on the edge of my seat for sure,
Yeah,
for
man.
sure. But this one of them fights where, like I said, I'm just worried about the punch resistance, because I'm not questioning if Cool Boy gonna fight back. I know he gonna let his hands go. I know he gonna punch in between them punches. I know he not gonna have the same output as Brandon, but he gonna have a high ass output his damn self, because he know that's how you have to when you fight Brandon. He know he been there, done this before. Like, that was the sharpest he ever looked, was that Brandon Figueroa fight, to me, at least. He probably looked sharper and cleaner in other fights, but sometimes you look sharpest in your toughest fights, to me, because what I seen you pull out in your toughest fights. Whereas, like, you might have looked the cleaner, won this fight 12-0. But it's like you ain't had to pull out nothing, so it's easy to say this one was your impressive one. The
Mhm.
fight that was really tough and you really had to get busy and pull it off, that'd be the people most impressive win to me. So he know what to do. He know what's coming. It's just if his body gonna react the way it let him react all them years ago, like 3 years ago, whenever that rematch was.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hoping maybe even just kind of again just play the devil's advocate. Maybe that Inoue loss and this other tough fight is gonna help him in this fight. Like, he not no Inoue, you know what I mean? I just went through another tough battle my last fight. I'd be good, so,
But
shit like that. So
mhm.
maybe them experiences help him out, type shit for real.
The main event, though, man, talk to me.
Benavidez, man, I'm rocking with Benavidez. I like David Morrell. I do. I think he a great fighter. The only, you know what I mean. We considering him. He about to get his David Benavidez fight. We was already considering him a top guy, 68. Nigga only got 10 fights.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So just to that point, I think he a great fighter. You feel me? But I just don't. I just don't think he ready for David right now, man. Again, another show me guy. Maybe he pull it off, but he got to show me. I
Or
just don't think he can. I think David just a little bit more experienced. I do think that's gonna matter. The people he's fought, including Caleb Plants and what's his name, dude,
Andre.
Andre. Yep, yeah, Andre, Darrell's, all these guys. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's gonna play a part. And I just think, yeah, man, I think David gonna be a little bit too much.
What you think? What you think David got worried about the most though? Like, if David do lose, how do it happen? If you do see a world with him losing, it's like if he don't get this right, he can fuck up off that.
He gotta hurt him, man. I think he gotta hurt him, dog. If we gonna go points, I think David gonna get that. I think he gotta hurt him. He gonna have to try to, because David about to try to go in there and throw a 60 fucking count combo. I think he probably got to get in between there, man. He
Yeah,
probably gonna have to come up here and then try to counter off that motherfucker or something, come right back or something. You know what I mean? Uh, and just really just not be scared of what he about to come out there with. You know what I mean? Just I think he gonna have to hurt him, man. Just at the end of the day, man, he gonna have to really at least make him respect what you bringing.
where and I do think he definitely gonna at least do that. Uh, it's just I got David by stoppage in the from like 7-10. I like David Morrell. Like in terms of straight talent, it's really a close fight. It's really 50-50. It's really 50-50 if we just going off talent versus talent. You could almost say it's 50-50. What make it not 50-50 to me is the experience, the shit that you need don't have nothing to do with your actual talents on what you could do in there. So just like David Benevidez, he been dropped, he been down on the scorecards, he done fought the best. He been through moments that you gotta keep in mind, like bro, you barely lost a round in your career, bro. Fuck a moment, you barely lost a round in your career. You barely lost a second in your career at this point in time. So to go from barely losing a second in your career to him,
Man,
that's going to be crazy. And it's the same way with Edgar Berlanga. I say, yo, if you break it down, he 20-0. He had 16 first round knockouts. That's equivalent to four rounders, plus the two 8 rounders he had, and then the two 10 rounders. I said Canelo fighting a nigga who ain't go 50 professional rounds yet. And you about to see Canelo and you ain't fight 50 professional boxing rounds and you think you about to have any chance. It's the
man.
same way. You don't even know what it's like to even have a bad 3 minutes, bro. Fuck a bad fight. You don't even know what it's like to have a bad 3 minutes yet. To just lose a round yet, probably. Like your last fight was a little tricky
Yeah, I'm
for
gonna
you.
say this. That
I
literally that
gave you
only
that.
last fight.
But that was the only time where that's probably he probably did experience not having it your way for 3 minutes. But outside of that fight, it's like you barely lost a round, and even in that fight, the politics wasn't even gonna let you lose as many rounds as you probably really lost on the card. You probably lost like 4 or 5 on the cards, but they let you go home with a 10-2, 9-3 because you the A side. So even if we going mentally wise, if we, from the actual fight, yeah, he lost 3 minutes. But if the scorecards, he didn't. He didn't lose 4 or 5 rounds in nobody's scorecards. So in a way, we probably thought he lost 4 rounds, but the politics ain't let him lose 4 rounds. So in a way, he could still feel like I barely lost rounds because technically he beat that nigga 9-3 on all three scorecards. So it's like he still don't know what it's like to not lose. I think he got the talent though. I think if we just talk about straight talent, I think it's a 50-50. But David just too seasoned. He know what to do and he know what the lights like. He know how to come back from adversity when shit go wrong and it's like it's not going from level 1 to level 10. He going from level 1 to level 10. Where David probably going from level 10 to level 11. Like you is another level of his opponent. I give you that. Well, I ain't even gonna say that because Caleb my guy. But I'm gonna say you at the same level as Caleb. It's not nothing David ain't seen. You skipping levels.
That's the only. That's. I mean, that's the breakdown, bro. It's the experience, man. That's really what got me for him, and why I picked him. It's just I think that's gonna really play a part, man. I done been in there with the best of the division. You know what I mean? You ain't been in there with literally nobody. So it's just that's. I think that's what's gonna probably make it a long night for Morrell. But again, what's gonna make it? What the advantage Morrell gonna have is just he just don't give a fuck. He a tough motherfucker in his own right. You know what I mean? He a tough dude in his own right. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna go in there. At least I don't think he gonna go in there and bitch up. You know with David. So um, that's what I think. He gonna make it a good fight while it lasts.
Shout out to David too, because this is a guy that if we're gonna be honest with you, just to play a devil's advocate real quick, I got David stopping him from 7-10. But in real life, if I'm part of David management team, I probably would have skipped past this guy if I'm just gonna be honest with you, because in a way he couldn't be all wrong for you. He definitely couldn't be all wrong for you. He's a Cuban who he a Cuban with power. So just that alone, he got the boxing shit because he a Cuban and he got power. That's very rare. So that make him almost a hybrid Cuban kind of, in the point where the mistakes you do, he might have been taught to counter that shit. He might some shit, because I always say like you could still win even if somebody make you pay for a mistake, but you gonna fight somebody eventually. That if you're not supposed to be doing something, you gonna get caught up in it. Like somebody gonna make you pay for it eventually. Even if you look at the Spence fight, he always bullied people. He always walked in and really mowed you. And it's like, it might have been times where he was overly aggressive. It might have been times where his positioning wasn't always right because how much he trying to mow you and all that. And it's like you gonna fight some top niggas, and they still not. You still gonna beat them, but one person gonna exploit it. Like David standing straight up and having your feet squared, you're not gonna go your whole career without a nigga making you pay for that. That's not how boxing works. Somebody gonna make you pay for that eventually. So I don't think it's gonna be David Morrell, but he do got the abilities where he might be the nigga where some of that shit that you get away with, I'm not gonna let you get away with. Like Navarrete, he did beat a lot of niggas. A lot of niggas. But we went up to 35. He didn't let you do that shit. And when he came back down, he went back to being the best. And like I said, the mistakes you do, you gonna be so good, you gonna get away with even the best of the best of the best gonna let you get away with it. But it's gonna be one motherfucker who not gonna let you get away with that shit. And like I said, that I don't know when that day gonna come for David, but it couldn't be Saturday, where it's like that screwing up shit you do and being a little reckless and all that. You're not gonna, I'm not letting you get away with that over here.
Mm-hmm.